Yeah, so as I was saying on the way over here, and first of all, I'm what they describe as a light worker or a starseed, and that's not a very common phrase or a common thing in Slovakia. In fact, I'm really the only one that I have met so far, or that I know of, that's actually here. There are other people in groups that do similar things as I do, but not with the amount of advanced information that I am bringing to Slovakia.
Takže vraj, on hovorí, že on je taký svetlorobotník, čo robí s svetlom a vyššiu energiu. A on prišiel na Slovensko povedať Slovákmi volačo o tom, presne, že prečo je tu a čo tu presne ste urobiť, alebo už urobil. A nie je veľa ľudí tak, aký je on, sú tu na Slovensko, ale že vraj už začína stretávať s ľuďmi, ako myšlenky aj on má, aj iní, také približne.
Yeah, so I should begin at the start.
A má začínať na začiat.
Is the world right now is going through what's described as an evolution.
Tento svet teraz ide cez evolúcie.
And the information of how the evolution works isn't being available to most of the common people.
A tá proces, ako tá evolúcia funguje, není pre každého vidno a nie každý vie, ako to funguje.
Even though through religious circles,
a napriek tomu cez cirkev,
there are descriptions in the book of Revelations, for example.
Sú tam veci, čo ľudia môžu si prečítať v knihu Revelations.
And it's more of a fearful message that the religious circles put forward.
Ale že vraj je to tak viac, že je to na strach pre ľudí od cirkev.
But to be clear,
ale aby sme boli istí s tým,
we are now in those times.
A my sme teraz v tej čase.
And they began on December the 21st, 2012.
A začína decembri 21, 2012.
And from there, in the description of the Bible, was known as the 7 years the 7 years of I forget the exact words that the Bible used, but it's those next 7 years were meant for the individual soul to cleanse their inner soul.
No a odtedy 2012 je teraz tých 7 roky, že ľudia majú sa začínať duše vyčistiť.
So that has already happened.
Tak to už teraz začínalo.
And now we are, and I should describe, we are officially at a time now that has been described as New Earth, or
my sme teraz na začiat, čo volá sa Nový zem.
And actually, all these things have to do with universal principles, which is everything in the universe is a derivative of frequency.
Tak teraz ide o to, že všetko v univerzum je o, aby sme vedeli, že vedomie je o frekvenciu na ten univerzum.
So frequency is a measure of So one of the measures is the Earth's frequency.
Tak a jeden vec z toho je Zem frekvencia.
For thousands of years,
1000 roky.
the Earth's frequency has been at 9.84.
Zem frekvencia pre 1000 roky bolo 9.8,
84.
Aha, 9.84. Tak.
And that's because
A to je preto,
the galaxy, the Milky Way, that the Earth is a part of,
že tá galaxia, ten Milky Way, čo je s Zemom,
was going around a central star system.
išlo okolo taký systému, taký hviezdy.
And it takes exactly 25,920
A presne zoberá 25 920
years.
rokov.
We are right at that time now when we've gone full circle,
A
all
teraz
the way
sme
around.
presne tam, že sme išli úplne okolo.
And it's been written
A bolo to napísané,
in all of the ancients, all of the texts,
starosť a minulosť, všade.
Whether it be the Mayan, the Vedic, the Hopi Indians, they all talk about the same thing.
Tak aby boli to Majani, Hopian alebo Indiáni, všetky hovoria o to isté.
That these days were going to come.
Tak tí časy, čo sme teraz, že budú prísť.
It's described as the golden age.
A volá sa Zlatý vek.
The golden age. And we are fully into it now.
A my sme teraz úplne v v čase.
But on the other side of the coin,
Ale na druhú stranu
there has been a dark force, a dark agenda,
bola veľmi tmavá
temné síly,
agenda,
that has been on Earth
čo bol na Zem
for 28,000 years.
28,000 rokov.
And they have been taking the power away
A títo tmaví svetlá zobrali silu od
from the people,
ľudí
mainly by way of deception.
a že od sklamstvo, samozrejme.
Because they are a dark agenda,
Lebo sú tmavé agendy,
they only have a certain amount of frequency.
majú len toľko frekvenciu,
It is known that the light
že svetlo,
supersedes, is stronger than the dark.
že svetlo je silnejší ako tma.
There is only dark in the absence of light.
A tma len je, kde není svetlo.
Take away the information,
Tak silu, čo oni len mali, že zobrať s ľuďmi informáciu, vedomosť,
as to who the human being
a že kto je človek,
really is.
naozaj je.
We are all the same. We are all sparks of God.
My sme všetky od svetla od Boha.
We all have souls.
My všetci máme duše.
Nobody is better than the other.
Nikto není lepší jak druhý.
But we all are a derivative of frequency.
Ale všetci máme v sebe frekvenciu
The dark agenda knew that.
a tma agenda vedel to.
So they have put together every possible means known on the planet
Tak oni dali všetko dokopy, čo len mohli
so far
doteraz,
to gain power and control
aby mohli mať moc a silu
by way of their governments,
od vládu,
financial institutions,
finančné inštitúcie
and religions.
a cirkev.
And I know a lot of you that might be watching this
A veľa vás, čo teraz pozerajú,
might be of the religious
môžete byť od cirkev,
tone, that you might belong to some
že
religion.
môže byť, že volá, kde patríte.
And I'm not here to criticize religion
Tak ja není som tu kritikovať cirkev,
as much as you should know.
ale máte vedieť,
It played its role,
urobil si svoju úlohu
and now because we are an evolving being, we are an evolving species.
a preto, lebo teraz evolvujeme na vyššiu úroveň,
This is all by design by much higher forces
že toto je od vyššiu síly,
than we have yet seen on the planet so
ešte
far.
čo sme ešte doteraz nevideli na tento zem.
We are in the days of what is described as the supernatural.
My sme teraz v čase, čo je najvyššia príroda. Taká
Prírodzenosť.
ako?
Prírodzenosť.
Prírodzenosť. Ďakujem.
The majority of everything that you've learned so far
Všetko, čo doteraz ste učili,
has been a lie.
bolo klamstvo. Klamstvo.
They have
Oni
been able to manipulate all of the education systems
mohli manipulovať všetky vzdelávacie inštitúcie
and they've lied about number one, the history of the planet and in a most ridiculous way, of course.
a samozrejme, že klamali aj o tom, že v históriu na tento zem ako je.
To say that the planet is only 6,000 years old
Že tento zem len je 6,000 rokov starý
and that we are the only planet with living life in the universe
a že sme len jeden zem, kde všetko je živé,
is a lie that has
je
now
klamstvo.
outlived itself.
Čo už ľudia začínajú vedieť.
Of course, now we have science that we can fall back on that shows that the universe is 14.4 billion light years in size, and so to ever conceive that we're the only place in the universe
Dobre,
is
tak Zem je 14,4 miliardy rokov starý, nie 6,000.
is almost beyond ridiculous.
A aby sme vedeli svetú pravdu s tým, že už science,
But because they've controlled all of the systems,
ale že oni kontrolovali všetky systémy,
every single bit of information on the planet,
všetká informácia na tento zem,
the media, number one,
prvá,
everything that you know through the
všetko,
media
čo viete od média,
has all been contrived.
všetko bolo
It's all a lie,
klamstvo.
and it's all meant to steer you in a direction mainly of fear,
A všetko je klamstvo s tým, že aby ste boli v strach,
so that you run to them
aby ste tam utekali za tú informácie
for security.
a aby ste mali
Bezpečnosť.
bezpečnosť. Ďakujem.
And of course I could go on and
A
on
mohol by som ísť ďalej a ďalej,
about all of those things, but the number one thing
ale ten jeden
that
vec,
I bring you
čo ste ma by ste vedeli,
is the information about who you truly are.
je o informácia s tým, že vážne naozaj kto ste.
You see, one of the other things that they did,
Jeden vec ešte, čo urobili,
who we really are
Kto sme
is a
naozaj?
derivative
my sme od
of DNA,
DNA.
which is the information of who we are.
To je informácia presne, kto naozaj sme.
After the Great Flood,
Potom, keď bola tá veľká utopenie,
which was 10,500 years ago,
10,500 rokov za,
the age of Atlantis, which was a civilization at one time on Earth,
vek od Atlantis, čo bolo naozaj tu na tento zem bola kedy,
it was decided to start the process all over again.
Oni dali myšlenky, že budú začínať znova všetko.
The human being actually has 12 strands of
Tak
DNA.
naozaj človek má 12 DNA.
They cut the strands of the amount we were able to use down to only 2 strands.
A oni tedy dali do vedomie, že len bude fungovať človek z 2 DNA.
I'll use the comparison of having a very advanced race car
Tak on ste povedať, aby sme podobne dali do vedomia, že keď máme rýchly auto
with a very, very small motor.
a veľmi malý motor,
But
ale
there's the space
je tam ešte
for a
miesto
very, very big motor.
na veľký motor, aby sme tam dali.
And that's what we've been doing since 2012.
A to sme teraz robili od 2012.
Because what the scientists have said
A čo scientists, vedci, čo povedali,
is that it was dormant DNA or junk DNA that we had in our systems.
že mali sme o ničom DNA v našej systéme,
But now what we've learned
ale teraz, čo sme naučili sa,
is how to activate all that dormant DNA.
to, čo doteraz nefungovalo,
And that's what's been happening
to, čo
to
teraz nefungovalo, a aby sme mohli s tým teraz začínať fungovať.
and that's what's been happening to a lot of us what is referred to as starseeds or light workers.
A to sú teraz tí ľudia, čo sa volajú tí svetla robotníci, čo robia s tým, aby ľudia boli zobudnutí. Zobudili.
And we become very advanced in the way of information, in the way of intelligence.
Tak už viac vieme o veci a viac vieme o inteligencie,
In our abilities to heal,
aby sme vedeli liečiť,
both like locally and non-locally, we can heal people on the other side of the earth.
že môžeme liečiť
the
aj
information
v lokálne miesta, aj ďaleko s tým, že máme tú informáciu už dnes.
is all in the field of consciousness.
A to je všetko v tej atmosfére, volá sa to consciousness.
And that's all we really are. We are in a field of consciousness.
A presne to sme teraz, taký čas, že volá sa to field of consciousness.
And that's what our soul is evolving from, is
A
this
to je
field.
to, čo náš duša teraz odtiaľ ide.
Our soul came here specifically
Duša presne preto prišiel
to evolve.
na zem, aby sme rastli.
So all of the stories about
A všetky príbehy,
going to hell
ísť do pekla
and that you've done all these things
a
wrong
všetko ste robili zle,
is all nonsense.
je to o ničom.
You were only here to learn higher ways and bigger ways of living,
Prišli ste len na tento zem, aby ste
to learn from your mistakes.
aby ste naučili sa od chyby, aby ste mohli sa dať do vyššej úroveň
and to evolve as a soul.
a aby ste boli tam presne s tým duše vyššie.
So this is the time right now.
Tak teraz je tento čas, že
It's very important
je to veľmi dôležité,
that this information
že táto informácia,
that I am bringing to Slovakian people
čo on teraz tu donesol na Slovensko pre ľudí,
is embodied, and this is the time that we begin to look at who we truly are.
máme teraz začínať vážne pozerať naozaj, kto sme.
I bring the information as to how each individual is able to self-empower themselves.
Ja som doniesla takú informáciu tu, aby ľudia vedeli vážne, ako sa presiliť, každý sám.
To find their genius.
Aby vedeli ich genius, že kto sú.
Each individual has genius within them.
Každý jeden človek vnútrom má v genius, volačo s ním.
And that genius is to be used
A tá genius má byť použité,
to be able to navigate, to be able to operate in a new planet.
aby mohol ten človek teraz na ten nový zem vážne ako žiť.
With a higher frequency
Aby mal vyššiu frekvenciu,
that is all based upon the principles
čo má s tým spôsobiť sa,
of unconditional love.
čo volá sa unconditional love.
So, there's much information to share about all of these things.
Veľmi veľa informácií je s týmto všetko.
The other thing that I want to bring forward
Ešte jeden vec, čo chcem povedať,
is that we are in the process of bringing a healing center to Slovakia.
že budeme na Slovensko doniesť liečivú centrum.
And one of the things that we want to put into place
A jeden vec, čo chceme tam urobiť,
is a new system of healing.
je nová systém liečiť sa.
They're called holographic medbeds.
Volajú sa holografické medbedy.
And what they
A
do
čo robia?
is you go into this bed
Ideš do postiel, do také miestnosť,
for 15 minutes.
za 15 minút
It reverses all of your diseases
všetko prečistí všetky choroby
and returns your body back to a youthful state again.
a začína to byť také, keby ste boli mladšie.
And I know that all these things sound like
A
they're
viem všetko, začína to tak,
from Star Wars or from
tak
the future,
tak sa počuť, keby od Star Wars alebo od voľaký budúcnosť,
but I'm here to ensure you that the future is here now.
ale chcem vám všetci povedať, že ten budúcnosť je tu teraz.
It is here now in this moment.
Teraz je tu v tejto čas.
So I just want to end right now,
Teraz chcem skončiť
and we'll go further maybe later
a
on.
potom na budúce môžeme ísť ďalej.